Welcome to Retirement Success TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Micheline Dagher and Joseph Baclini of Dagher Wealth Management. And to our viewers at home, thank you for being with us today. We're so excited that you're joining us. We're going to talk about a very important component in retirement, income. How important is income in your retirement? Today's show is just for you if you're planning your retirement and you're thinking about your income needs. Thank you for being with us. Joseph, how are you today? I'll start with you by saying hi.
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. So good to see you. And Micheline, how are you today?
I'm very good. Thanks for asking. It makes me laugh because you always start with me and like you got him off guard and he's like, oh, it's me.
He's like, what? I love it. Well, I'm so happy to be with the two of you again because, again, you're so busy with not only just the business and the firm and everyone coming in, but your family. Your boys are so active and that you always take time to come into the studio. So, again, I can't thank you enough. I know the viewers at home are loving the shows because they've been calling in, they've been booking their consultations, and you're giving peace of mind and clarity to our viewers because they finally understand it's great to have a plan for retirement. It's not just a statement in the mail. So thank you both so much for that. Well, income is obviously the foundation of any successful retirement. So I want to talk about a little bit about that. Misha, you always say that it's the most powerful parameter in retirement. Let me ask you, why is income and not savings the real foundation of a confident retirement?
Well, Cynthia, you don't live on your assets unless you convert your assets into a stream of income that can sustain your lifestyle year after year until the last day. So if you're counting on that statement when it comes from the mail and you look on this big number, wherever that number is, for some people, $200,000 is a big number. For some other people, $2 million is not a big number. But no matter what that number is, unless you convert that number into a monthly stream of income, this is not going to be the one that you're going to live on during your retirement years. And this is very important for us to differentiate for our clients. And I believe Joe spends quite a lot of time on kind of like explain to people the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to give an example out there so to give people some thoughtful consideration, you know, when we're talking about asset too. So I have somebody that I sat with, their brother has been recommending for them to get short rental property. And they went out, they invested money in that short rental property, and his brother is generating income from it and is enjoying it. Well, it did not turn out to the same situation for this specific person. So here he locked in asset in a property thinking that he's going to make money and eventually putting him in a situation where he now is in deficit. So this is why when we're talking about only asset, not asset only is important, it's generating the income from that asset. And that's one of the biggest components that's always misunderstood and also less talked about, especially in the financial field, because a lot of times the focus is on growing the asset. But let's also be realistic, just growing it is not enough. You need to have that income from it in order to live.
It makes sense when you think about it that way. And also, talk a little bit about the importance of what someone would need, Misha, to live comfortably, and then basing what Social Security provides. Is there sometimes a gap that you're seeing when it comes to that?
Well, do you think that Social Security's payment is enough for people to live on comfortably today?
I do not. I do not think that would be an accurate statement.
And this is what we refer to the gap that we try to most of the time explain to people, that you can't use your retirement accounts like an ATM machine that, you know, this month I'm short of $1,000. I just go ahead and take from my retirement account $1,000 and so forth and so on the other months. You have to create a legit retirement income plan that will be making sure that you're not going to outlive your money. Because if you just, as you go, you cannot go to these accounts and withdrawing, you're really not creating an income plan that's gonna sustain that gap for the long term of your retirement.
That makes perfect sense. And Joe, as I mentioned, obviously, when you have this gap, the gap seems to be getting wider. Let's talk a little bit about that. People that have been so dependent on their savings, why are they seeing this gap all of a sudden be just this huge chasm, if you will?
Yeah, well, everything is getting more and more expensive. Ultimately, in order for us to supplement our income, we're gonna have to tap in more and more into our saving. Not just looking just at medical cost alone. The inflation is almost double digit on medical healthcare needs.
Yes.
And factor in market volatility, factor in the taxation even on your assets. So you will see that you will need a much bigger pot to draw from in order to sustain your lifestyle. And this is why, whenever we talk through having that income strategy in place, and you always hear us talk about that income strategy in place, is because this is what carries us in retirement. The same thing that our paycheck carries us through our working years. We use that money to live and enjoy life. The same thing now, the thing is gonna change, the dynamic is gonna change. Now we're gonna use that asset that we've built to take from it and enjoy our retirement, because this is gonna become basically our employer. I look at our asset as our employer paying us out.
That's true, because you're responsible for creating your own income stream in retirement. I love that analogy. That's fantastic. Misha, I want to ask you, obviously the past 16 years have been so great for people that are contributing to their 401ks. We don't know what the next 16 years is going to look like. So how can that create some anxiety for folks that are approaching retirement?
Well, so many people had faced 2008, for instance, when the market corrected, and they kind of struggle seeing, maybe they weren't retired, but they seeing their parents maybe retired or in their retirement, and they saw that most of their account diminished during that market volatility. And fast forward, we went through this growth and growth and growth with considerably low inflation cost until the recent couple of years, but we were on the low inflation cost for so many, many years. And people were able to basically fund into their retirement year after year more and more and more. But if you go to the same people and you ask them, what about the past couple of years, for instance? Were you able to increase your contribution to your 401k or without you struggling? Some people are diligent on making that increase yearly, but now they are seeing lesser purchase power from their paycheck. And this is where differentiate like the future of the next 16 years. Do we see the next 16 years are going to be the same as the past 16 years? We already started seeing that difference.
That's true.
And this is where also people were able to buy homes before, and instead of paying rent, they were able to pay mortgages with the same cost, versus when the interest rate has gone up and up and up, they were facing not be able to do so. So this is basically where we are trying to explain to people, you can't just go by how much of growth in your 401k you had in the past 16 years. You actually have to empower yourself right now to take the right decision and address these accounts today and not wait until tomorrow when it's too late.
Most definitely. And Joseph, I want to ask you, doing a deep dive into a portfolio analysis, what does that look like? I know we have to take a commercial break momentarily, but you specialize and you're passionate about making sure that someone's portfolio is equally balanced, if you will.
Yeah. And this is a great point, because a lot of times it's, again, something that is not well understood within the general public. But we have to stress test these portfolio. We have to stress test that income strategy that, that they're trying to live off. Is the portfolio able to sustain market volatility? Is the income is being jeopardized? Is the retirement journey is being jeopardized in any way? And we're gonna stress test this portfolio for inflation, for taxes, for market volatility, for dips in the market. What about if you would like to retire early, and so forth? So there's a lot of things that goes into that deep dive analysis. Ultimately, the goal is always not to jeopardize that income, because that income is needed to stay retired and enjoy retirement and ensure that our lifestyle is never, never, never jeopardized.
Joseph, thank you so much. Misha, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, there's a number for you to call on your screen. That number is 877-740-6553. If you're viewing in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, do I have an income stream for my retirement? Do I know where to begin? If the answer is no, pick up the phone and call in today, 877-740-6553, and schedule your complimentary consultation with Misha and Joseph. Let them get to know you one-on-one. What are your goals? What are your dreams? And what are your hopes for retirement? You deserve to have peace of mind. You deserve to have a plan that's customized just for you. We've made it even simpler. Grab your smartphone and click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That is the fast track on how to get on the schedule at Dagher Wealth Management. The best part about this consultation, when you come in, you'll also receive a copy of this book. You don't want to miss it. This is actually Realize Your Retirement Success. This is Micheline's book. It's a great book. Please take the opportunity to come in and meet with them and grab a copy. We'll be right back after this very short commercial break.
There is no shortage of opinions about annuities. Some people love them, others hate them. But here's what matters. The right annuity in the right situation can solve very specific retirement challenges. Whether it's guaranteed income, market protection, or legacy planning, different annuities are built to serve different purposes. The problem is, too many people own annuities that no longer match their goals, or worse, never did. Some have high fees, others come with outdated features, but too often, people buy them without understanding what they are getting. If you've been holding onto an annuity for years, or if you're not sure exactly what you have or how it works, now is the time to take a second look. Our complimentary annuity review can help you understand what you own, what it's doing for you, and whether something better is available in today's market. Refinance your annuity today and make sure it's working for you, not against you.
Welcome back to Retirement Success TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Micheline Dagher and Joseph Baclini of Dagher Wealth Management. We're talking all about the importance of income in retirement because income is the outcome. So thank you for being with us today. Misha, I want to ask you something, if I could please, about market volatility. When people are getting into the retirement years, why does market volatility specifically become such a bigger threat to someone's retirement success?
Well, Cynthia, when you're working, your paycheck is the one who's paying your bills. Versus when you retire, you're counting on these accounts that you are investing in to pay your bills. We talked before many times about that Social Security is not going to be enough to sustain people's lifestyle. So they're gonna go to their retirement accounts to generate income. If your accounts are invested directly in the market, this is really going to harm your income. You can't wait and wait it out until it comes back because you're withdrawing from this account. And if you are withdrawing from the account and the market take a deep dive, then you're actually double dipping in these accounts and the harm becomes even worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
We always talk about the sequence of return, and this is really what harms income the most. If you have many drops in the market in the early years of retirement versus at the end of your retirement, this is because of the sequence of return. And this is why it's important for people who are going to generate income to sustain their lifestyle from their retirement accounts, not to be invested directly in the market if you care about lifetime income, that it's guaranteed for the rest of their lives.
Okay, and again, peace of mind comes from that, knowing that it's guaranteed for the rest of their lives. Joseph, I want to ask you a question as well. This uncertainty, how does it impact the retiree's day-to-day life?
Well, a lot of times I hear the same kind of repetitive motion from folks. They feel they are fearing spending. They are fearing enjoying life. They stop traveling. They stopped spending money. And, they start asking themselves questions. Should I, convert my money to cash? Should I stay in the market? Should I get out of the market? What should I do? And a lot of times emotions, when it drives investment, it's a recipe of disaster. And this is our job, is when we help people have that clarity, demystify for them their account, understand how we're gonna build that income strategy, where the money is gonna come from during downturn in the market, where the money is gonna come from to pay, for example, for a tax liability. It gives them that peace of mind. It gives them that clarity. And ultimately, this is where they're gonna have that income freedom. They can now enjoy life and enjoy their time with whatever they want to do.
Most definitely. Misha, also I want to ask you a question. The biggest risks that retirees are facing today, if they don't adjust their strategy moving forward, what are they looking at?
Well, I'm going to call them the number 4. So it's volatility, inflation, longevity, and taxes.
Okay.
Because when we are looking on generating a guaranteed lifetime income, when we really don't know how long you're going to live, you're facing with what's called longevity. If we are kind of combining that with volatility and not addressing inflation and taxes, because if people are saving in all accounts that it's tax deferred and not tax-free income, then you're looking on a hefty tax liability. And I encourage our viewers to go to dagherwealthtaxbill.com. It's dagherwealthtaxbill.com, or simply to our website, and just take a few seconds of their time and input their accounts and their age. And they can play even with the tax brackets that might think they are in. And they can see for themselves how much tax in the future they might be liable to during retirement. And if we combine all these 4 together, volatility, inflation, and taxes, this is all together is going to affect people's retirement income very, very much. And that's why it's very important to address it sooner than later.
Most definitely. And again, it's dagherwealthtaxbill.com. I love that because it's such an easy website to navigate. As you mentioned, you can play around with different strategies. And we think you're going to be really surprised if you see your current tax burden today. Joseph, I want to ask you, what is the single most important thing that a retiree can do to protect themselves from uncertainty?
Well, planning is the number one. We always talk about that. And the planning should be focused on income and retirement. And as Misha just mentioned, taxes is one component. We got, health is another component, Social Security another component, and, legacy planning another component. And this is what I call the circle of financial freedom, because you need to cover all your bases to enjoy that retirement and not just focus on one component, not just focus on Social Security or just on the account. It's taking all of these together and building that financial income freedom that we talk about.
I love that. And it's the wheel of what?
The wheel, it's the circle of financial freedom.
The circle. I love that. That is fantastic. I love it because it provides such peace of mind when you have all of those areas covered. Misha, I should ask you, the income bucket strategy. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because you're passionate about bucket strategies with your clients.
Yes. I try to kind of simplify it by saying, if you don't want it to think about it as just a bucket that you can hold in your hand, think about it as a puzzle. That you're thinking of the 4 corners. And the first bucket is that first corner that should be the income. And then another bucket that should be taxes.
Okay.
And another bucket should be how you invest your account based on your risk tolerance, etc. And then the 4th bucket is the withdrawal strategy. that when you fit it all together and you know exactly how you should be taking money out from which account first and when to switch, you don't have to go years before you switch. Sometimes market volatility actually forces us to switch income from an account to another. This is basically based on what the client is in need. Also, taxation sometimes could force us to change strategies of withdrawals. All of these are creating the income buckets. This is why the clients don't need a pile of statements. They need a strategy. That's what's going to drive their income in the future.
I love that. Well, Misha, I know that you have a very special message to the viewers at home. Please talk about what that is before we take our commercial break.
Well, our viewers, if you are wondering what type of income strategy buckets you should have, or if you have that pile of statements but you don't have a strategy to generate lifetime retirement income for yourselves and make sure you're not going to be burdened on someone else during retirement, this is now your opportunity to go to dagherwealthtaxbill.com and see it for yourself how much taxes you might owe, and also take advantage of our complimentary readiness review for your own retirement and create that retirement income plan that you well deserve.
Misha, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, the number to call is on your screen, 877-740-6553. 877-740-6553, or you can grab your smartphone and click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Once again, that's the fast track to get on the schedule of Dagher Wealth Management. And when you do so and book your appointment, when you come in, you're going to receive a copy of Misha's book, Realize Your Retirement Success. You don't want to miss this. It's a beautiful book, easy to read, and just a fabulous gift for you when you come into the office. When we come back, we're going to talk more about stability in retirement. Stay tuned.
There's a conversation most families never have, not because they don't care, but because it's hard to start. It's about legacy. Not just legal forms, but the real thing, your voice, your wishes, your values, your guidance. And that's why we've created something that makes that conversation easier, a free estate planning checklist. It's a quick, comprehensive, and clear. And most importantly, it is written with families in mind, not lawyers. Whether you're just getting started or reviewing your current plan, this checklist can help. If you'd like a copy, just reply to this message or click the link. It's a simple tool with a very big purpose to make sure your family has clarity, not confusion, when they need it most.
Did you know your retirement isn't entirely yours? That is right. Your 401k, IRA, pension is actually shared with Uncle Sam. And when it's time to withdraw, he will be waiting for his cut in taxes. Want to know how much you will owe? Use our easy tax calculator to find out. Just scan the QR code or visit dagherwealthtaxbill.com and get the answers in minutes.
Welcome back to Retirement Success TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Micheline Dagher and Joseph Baclini of Dagher Wealth Management. We're talking all about the importance of income in retirement, so thank you for being with us today. Misha, I know that people are so concerned with one thing when it comes to stability. Why is guaranteed income so important?
Well, when you retire, your bills don't retire. So your income shouldn't retire either. So if you're counting only on Social Security and Social Security is not enough to live on, well, you have to generate guaranteed lifetime income from other sources. It's very important for people. When you take that fear out, it gives you that peace of mind. And if you don't have this market volatility affecting your income, then kind of like automatically gets that peace of mind, in my opinion.
Yes.
And this is the most important for most retirees. They're not, if you go through studies that we recently read, most of people are not only afraid of when they're gonna pass away, they're mostly afraid of outliving their assets.
It's true. That is true. That is the number one fear. It used to be dying, but it's no longer.
Yes.
Joseph, emotionally, I want to ask you, what happens to someone when they know that their basic income is insured, if you will, their lifestyle is insured, that they have peace of mind? Talk about the emotional impact of that.
Yeah, a lot of times we feel like we see folks relaxed. They're breathing. They're enjoying life. They're no longer postponing trips. They're no longer spoiling the grandkids. Actually, what we have found out is guaranteed income gives retiree permission to live their life.
I love that. To really enjoy their life.
It is empowering because now they know that they have that money to spend for the rest of their life. It's like basically, will you be sad if I'm sitting here giving you $1 every day for the rest of your life?
No, I know I have $1 every day.
Yeah, for sure. And this is what you have to think about it. You know, you're getting guaranteed money day in, day out, and it's never going to stop. That bucket is never going to get empty, you know, and hopefully there is something left for other, you know, to enjoy it, either a spouse or heirs, if there is something left, you know, but at least for your whole life, it gives you that peace of mind, that emotional stability.
I think I need more than $1. What can I get for $1 a day?
I know. I was just giving an example. You know, well, we can use pennies. They're more scarce now.
That's right. Misha, I should ask you, what kinds of tools do you use to have guaranteed income for your clients?
We use a combination of so many of them, such as Social Security optimization. We really don't want to count only on statements, especially when it comes to couple. There is not always the case that they should retire at the same time and collect Social Security at the same time or at the same day, starting their Social Security. And this is where it comes really very helpful for people, especially couple, to optimize their Social Security strategies. Secondly, we use a pension analysis. And I understand that pensions are getting lesser and lesser as we go through retirements with cases right now.
Sure.
But still, if we find some pensions on the table, we really need to make sure that we analyze all options to maximize income. In addition to that, to go through annuities options, if that's something it's going to help them. Laddering bonds. We get into income riders sometimes. So there is so many of using a combination of all of that. The key is not to sell a product. The key is to build a strategy for income.
I can only imagine the peace of mind when someone has that stability, Joseph. We have 1.5 minutes left of the show, but again, tell the viewers at home, what does it feel like when you're able to sit with them, and Micheline as well, designing this incredible complimentary written income plan? Talk a little bit more about what it feels like when people know that their needs are covered.
Well, it starts with the income strategy and making sure that the bills are covered, making sure that the lifestyle that they're seeking is always protected. And the one part that a lot of times is also missed out that we'll also like to take care of is ensuring that the spouse is also taken care of, or if there is any dependent children or special needed child or dependent. Folks, this is a great opportunity to have your own customized retirement income strategy. We will sit down with you and figure out what income you need and build you that bucket strategy that is gonna provide you income for the rest of your life and leave a legacy that you always dreamed and wished for.
Joseph, thank you so much. Micheline, thank you as always. To the viewers at home, the number to call is 877-740-6553. We're talking about having income for life. When it comes to your retirement years, you deserve to have the complimentary written plan. Just call in, book your consultation, 877-740-6553, or click the QR code on the bottom corner of your screen. When you come into the office, you will also receive a copy of Micheline's book. You're not going to want to miss it. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We look forward to having you back again with us 1 week from today. Take care now. We'll see you soon.